Yeah, and I mean, listen, Dak Prescott has all the leverage in this situation. And I know it's like, well, where could you possibly see Dak Prescott if he left the Dallas Cowboys? How about a team we already talked about?
Who?
The Pittsburgh Steelers.
That's a good one.
I mean, like, you're talking about a team that hasn't figured out.
I didn't think of that. That is a
team that
really
hasn't
good
figured
one.
out, post Big Ben Roethlisberger.
Yeah.
It's been just dying for some type of stability at the quarterback situation. Could you imagine a Dak Prescott with the Pittsburgh Steelers?
I love that.
The way we'd be talking about them, as it relates to the other teams in the AFC.
Yeah.
But Molly, here's a flip side of that. There's something with playing with the star on your helmet.
Minnesota, with a guy like Justin Jefferson. Miami, even though they got Tua, but he can't win in inclement weather. He can't win in weather below 70 degrees. So we got to work on him about that. But Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, guys like that, yeah, something like that, sure. Those are names that have come to mind. Here's why the Pittsburgh Steelers don't come to mind. The Pittsburgh Steelers don't come to mind because even though they're not the star, they're not the Dallas Cowboys, obviously they're one of the elite franchises in NFL annals with one of the strongest fan bases in the history of the National Football League. Wherever pressure is, Dak Prescott hasn't shown that's where he needs to go. Now, he could correct it.
Yeah.
He could do something different, but I'm talking about the 8 years we've had to defer to. He don't look like Precious his
Miami's not realistic because obviously they just re-signed Tua.
Minnesota.
We know Pittsburgh is. Minnesota, I don't feel like is sexy enough, Stephen A, to leave the Cowboys.
That's why I said it.
They literally have
that's why I said it, Molly.
Yeah, so that can't happen.
Molly, that's why I said it.
No,
I'm
I
saying
get it.
because it's not sexy enough.
Yeah, but
That's
honestly,
exactly what I'm saying.
not saying this because I'm a Giants fan.
It makes that's the team.
But to me, that's the move when I look at guys like even the kind of career Eli's had or a Michael Strahan. It matters playing in New York. No, if we're just talking, you talked about the star, right? And the post career and the afterlife of playing for the Dallas Cowboys and all the opportunities and all the shine, et cetera. I think New York City can compete with that.
No.
1,000%.
Yes, it can, Steve.
He's saying Stephen A. can't.
Do you think Michael Strahan's Michael Strahan if he's a Minnesota Vikings?
Molly,
and I love Michael Strahan. I think he's incredibly talented.
Once again, Molly, you want to debate me, but you ain't listening to my point. I'm saying New York City is a pressure cooker. Wherever pressure is, Dak Prescott doesn't need to be. That's what I'm saying.
Well, if he's fully supported and they're all in on him.
He's talking about the
mental
makeup of Dak. He's talking about the mental makeup of Dak. The pressure, and I don't agree with that. The pushback
that I have. Mental makeup is that because I feel like they don't have his back.
How much back do you need?
I'm just telling you, how many times does your owner have to come out? Stephen A., how would you feel like if your boss came out and was like, hey, Stephen A's okay, I could do without Stephen A. How would you feel? That's what happens with him on a daily basis, Stephen A.
Time out. Actually, bosses have done that in my career. And what they've learned is that even though that'll piss me off, I show up and produce. That's the difference. Dak hasn't. He doesn't.
He does in the regular season. It's not just on him, though, Stephen A. Losing in the playoffs. You know that.
That's the pushback for me. Stephen wants to put it all at Dak's feet.
It's not all.
We literally were on the show yesterday talking about Jerry Jones, thinking he's a great GM and a great owner. And we literally...
I specifically said no to that question.
Okay, sir, you're here. I need you here. Just relax for a second.
6-inch voices. We're in the library.
I'm saying we discussed Jerry Jones thinking that he is a great owner and GM. We debated that. Jerry, despite 25, 29 years of them not getting to a title game, not getting to a Super Bowl, Jerry in his head still thinks he's great. And yet we have seen other franchises, other GMs, other owners literally go all in. We've seen GMs put talent surround their quarterbacks with talent, so there is no question about whether the goal is to win a Super Bowl. We've seen other franchises make moves to get the right head coaches to build a potential playoff team and a Super Bowl team. And in Dallas,
my friend, criminal about your take?
What?
Your take is criminal because you covered the NFL and you know the NFL better than most. Kimberly, you know when the season is over and you have to go on television or you have to go to a locale at any NFL city to report on a story, what are you talking about? You're talking about contract negotiations. Tell me the person that walks into the negotiation talking about what's around them. They talk about them. This is what I can bring to the table. They talk about Dak Prescott getting $60 million. $60 million. I mean, wait a minute, a year. Who are these people? I don't want to hear about that.
Here's the no.
Go ahead.
Leverage.
Finish your thought.
It's about leverage.
It's about leverage, but also the top paid quarterbacks. Trevor Lawrence, Joe Burrow, Jordan Love, Tua, Jared Goff, Justin Herbert, Lamar Jackson, Jalen Hurts, Kyler Murray, Deshaun Watson. So you want to sit here and talk about how dare Dak command? The market dictates that he can command that, because it's not about who's the best quarterback, should be the highest paid. It's not about that. And you know better than anybody.
You lost your other point again. You lost your point again. Because you said just a few minutes ago that star means something. Well, guess what? Those other players that you mentioned, they need football to make their bag. Dak Prescott doing commercials. Dak Prescott wearing that star. There's a magnetism that comes with him on Madison Avenue because he's wearing the star. But this brother can't show up come postseason.
Oh my God, Stephen A. The point is.
Ladies and gentlemen, today we dive into a burning question that's been lighting up the NFL discussions. What does the future hold for Dak Prescott? As the clock ticks on his time with the Dallas Cowboys, we find ourselves at a critical juncture. Could a move to the Pittsburgh Steelers be the answer, or perhaps the Minnesota Vikings or Miami Dolphins could be the teams to finally lead him to the Super Bowl? The stakes are higher than ever, and the decisions made in the coming months could define Prescott's career. Let's dissect this dilemma and explore which path might lead him to ultimate NFL glory. First up, the Pittsburgh Steelers, a franchise steeped in history, known for its ironclad defense, and a fan base that demands nothing less than excellence. Imagine Dak Prescott stepping into the shoes once filled by legends, leading the black and yellow. It's a tantalizing thought. The Steelers have been searching for a stable quarterback since Ben Roethlisberger's departure, and Prescott could be the spark they need to reignite their Super Bowl hopes. But let's not sugarcoat it, the pressure in Pittsburgh is immense. The Steelers are not just another team, they are a franchise with a legacy. The AFC North is no playground, and Prescott's playoff history raises significant concerns. Can he handle the relentless pressure that comes with the Steelers' expectations? The fans, the media, and the legacy could all either forge Prescott into a championship caliber quarterback or shatter him under the weight of expectation. The stakes could not be higher in Pittsburgh. Next, we turn our attention to the Minnesota Vikings. Picture this Dak Prescott throwing bombs to Justin Jefferson, leading an offense with the potential to be one of the most explosive in the league. On paper, it seems like a match made in heaven. The Vikings have talent, there's no denying that. But here's where the drama thickens. Despite their talent, the Vikings have consistently fallen short when it counts the most. Minnesota's defense has been their Achilles heel, and their inability to close out big games has left fans heartbroken time and again. Could Prescott be the missing piece that finally changes their fortunes? Or would he simply be stepping into another situation where potential is squandered and postseason dreams are dashed? The pressure in Minnesota might not be as intense as in Pittsburgh, but make no mistake, failure here would only amplify the narrative that Prescott is a great regular season quarterback who vanishes in the playoffs. And then there's Miami, the land of sun, stars, and Super Bowl dreams. Imagine Prescott in a Dolphins uniform, leading an offense with Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle at his disposal. The potential for fireworks is undeniable, and the allure of Miami's vibrant atmosphere could be just what Prescott needs to rejuvenate his career. But as always, there's a catch. The Dolphins have already shown their commitment to Tua Tagovailoa, and bringing in Prescott could create a quarterback controversy that might destabilize the team. Moreover, Miami has a history of unfulfilled potential, and Prescott's tendency to falter under pressure adds a layer of doubt. Is Miami the place where Prescott can finally silence his critics, or will the bright lights and high expectations prove to be his undoing? The path to glory in Miami is anything but straightforward. So where should Dak Prescott go? The answer isn't clear-cut. Each team, the Steelers, the Vikings, and the Dolphins, offers a unique set of opportunities and challenges. Pittsburgh could forge him into a champion or break him under the weight of its storied history. Minnesota might finally unlock his postseason potential or turn into another disappointing chapter in his career. Miami could be the glitzy, high-octane environment where Prescott shines, or it could be the place where the pressure becomes too much. In the end, this decision will define Dak Prescott's legacy. It's not just about finding a new team, it's about rewriting his narrative. Will he rise to the occasion and lead his next team to Super Bowl glory, or will he be remembered as the quarterback who couldn't quite get it done when it mattered most? The clock is ticking, and the NFL world is watching. Ladies and gentlemen, as we stand at the edge of one of the most critical decisions in Dak Prescott's career, we can only speculate what the future holds. The choices before him are monumental, each with the potential to define his legacy in a way that could either immortalize him as a champion or cement the narrative of unmet expectations. Will he rise to the challenge and lead a new team to the pinnacle of NFL success, or will the pressure of these high-stakes decisions weigh him down? No matter where he ends up, whether it's the storied grounds of Pittsburgh, the potential rich fields of Minnesota, or the sun-soaked shores of Miami, one thing is clear: the next chapter of Dak Prescott's career is going to be one of the most scrutinized and talked about stories in the NFL. The stakes couldn't be higher, and the entire football world will be watching, waiting to see if Dak Prescott can finally prove himself as the quarterback who can deliver when it matters most. So buckle up, because the drama surrounding Dak Prescott is far from over, and the decisions made in the coming weeks and months could very well reshape the NFL landscape for years to come. Stay tuned, because this is one story you won't want to miss.